Hi class, today's Monday, May 11th. In this science lesson, we're going to start learning about magnets. For today's science lesson, you will need workbook pages 139 to 140, and you'll also need a pencil. We're going to start by watching our science video on magnets. So go ahead and pause this, make sure that you have your materials ready to go, then come back, press play, and go ahead and enjoy the video on magnets, and then we'll get ready and can begin our work.
Click the hand to release the nail. When a magnet is brought close to a nail, both the magnet and the nail are pulled toward each other until they touch. This is called attraction. The magnet attracts the nail, and the nail attracts the magnet. Can you think of other things a magnet can attract? Tap Next, and let's find some more. Welcome to the lesson, Which Objects Do Magnets Attract? Did you know that magnets can push and pull things too? Which objects do you think magnets attract? Let's find out. The vocabulary words for this lesson are magnet and attract. Do you know that some paper clips can become magnets? Certain things stick to magnets, and you can make your own magnet from a paper clip. Rub the paper clip with a magnet. Then hold the paper clip near other paper clips. They will stick together. Let's take a closer look at magnets. Most magnets are made of and attracted to iron, steel, or nickel. Click the play button to see how magnets can pull together or push apart. If you hold two magnets close, they may pull together with a click. Turn one of the magnets around, and the two magnets will push apart. A magnet can attract or pull things. Did you notice how this red and gray magnet is curved? Other bar-type magnets are straight and have no curves or bends, like a pencil or crayon. Watch how the magnet attracts the things that are made of iron, steel, or nickel. Click each object to see if it's attracted by a magnet. The plastic ruler is not attracted by a magnet. These are attracted by a magnet. The roll of tape is not attracted by a magnet. These are not attracted by a magnet. These are not attracted by a magnet. One side of the scissors is attracted by a magnet, but the plastic handles are not. The magnet attracts one side of the thumbtack and doesn't attract the plastic part. Some magnets are so powerful they can move objects even when something else is in the way. Do you think magnets can work right through paper? How about cloth? Can magnets move objects right through these materials? Click the materials you think will work. Good job! That's right. Well done. That's correct. Magnets can work through paper, cloth, air, and water. Do magnets attract paper clips? How about pencils? Drag each picture into the right box. Great job! You know which objects magnets will attract. You've learned a lot about magnets. Before we finish this lesson, let's check the main points you've covered. Most magnets are made of metals like iron, steel, or nickel. Magnets can pull things that are made of iron, steel, or nickel. Magnets can pull metals such as iron through air, water, paper, and cloth. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.
Before we move on to our workbook, I'd like to read Magnets Help Us Every Day. This is a book about magnets and just gives us a little more information. So just follow along and let's learn some more about magnets. Magnets pull some objects to them. Magnets pull or attract objects made of iron or steel. These objects are magnetic. Why do magnets stick to this steel door? This steel door is a refrigerator door, and the magnets are magnetic. Therefore, they stick to the door. Magnets are in our homes. Magnets have different shapes and sizes. Magnets help a doorbell work. Magnets have two ends called poles. Opposite poles attract. Some poles push each other away or repel. Magnets have a strong pull. They can attract iron or steel objects without touching them. Magnetic force pulls the toy car. People use magnets at work. Submagnets are inside machines. Submagnets hold things together. Magnets at work, up on the board. Magnets at work, in the computer. Magnets keep this train above the track. Magnets help the train move very fast. There are magnets in the track, and there are also magnets on the train. That's the end of our story, Magnets Help Us Every Day. Now we'll move on to our workbook pages. All right, boys and girls, take a look at the slide here. This is nothing that you have in your workbook, nothing that you have on any papers. This is just right here on the video in front of you. I'm really upset because this is something that I was looking so forward to doing in class with you guys, and we're not going to get to do it, but I want you to take a look at here and think about the objects that would be magnetic from what you just saw in the video and from what we just read in that book. What do you think would stick to this magnet? Think about it, and then we're going to go to the next slide, and then I'm going to show you, okay? We would be testing these out. If we were together, it would be so much fun. All right, how about erasers? Do you think that they would stick to a magnet? What do you think? Remember, they talked about things that were iron or steel, okay, that they were made of metal. Those kinds of things stick to a magnet. They will attract or pull to a magnet, okay? What about paper clips? Do you think paper clips will attract to a magnet? How about rubber bands? Will they attract to a magnet? How about a penny? Will a penny attract to a magnet? Keys, do you think they'll attract to a magnet? How about a pencil? You think a pencil will attract to a magnet? What's a pencil made of? How about these toys? You think the magnet will just suck them right up? Just stick right to them? And what about all these little nuts and bolts and screws and nails? How about all those parts? Do you think those will stick to that magnet? And what about this seashell? Do you think that seashell will stick to this magnet? Think about it. Think about it, and then think about what your answers will be. Press pause if you need to. Think about your answers really good before you go to the next slide and find out the answers, okay? All right, let's go to the next slide whenever you're ready, and we'll find out the answers. Okay, boys and girls, this might look a little familiar because last week we did a Venn diagram, one of these little two circle things for our story, one of three, right? But this time we're going to do it with things that will attract to magnets and things that won't attract to magnets. If you look at the top right here, this one in this circle is things that will attract to magnets. And on this side, we have the things that will not attract to magnets. All right, and if you remember from the last page, these are all of the same pictures. And on this side, over where the magnet is attracting to the nails, those are all the things that will attract to magnets. All those screws and nails and bolts and washers, all of those are made of steel or iron, and that will attract to a magnet, just as will the paper clips. Now, yes, they do have plastic on the outside, but underneath the plastic coating, paper clips are metal, so they will stick to the they will stick to the magnet. Also, keys will stick to a magnet. Okay, now the things that do not stick, erasers, nope, those are rubber. They don't stick to magnets. These toys, those are made out of plastic, or sometimes they're made out of a rubbery material also. They will not stick to a magnet. Rubber bands, they're made out of what? Rubber. Rubber bands. Rubber. So nope, they will not stick. This seashell, nope, it's made out of rocks, right? Remember when we talked about rocks and shells and things in the ocean? Nope, not made out of any kind of metal. It's made out of a different kind of rock. All right, but I'm sorry, I forgot my penny over here. Now, you would think that that penny would stick to a magnet, right? However, it doesn't because it's made of a different kind of metal called copper, and that metal does not stick to a magnet, okay? Now, if you notice right here, let me change my color, right here in the middle, we have one thing that is in both the stick or magnet and not magnetized category, and that's a pencil. And the reason being that it's in both categories is because up at the top of the pencil, right up there, it's got that little metal piece that holds the eraser on. That piece will stick to a magnet. But the bottom piece, all down here that's made of wood, that will not stick to a magnet. Okay, so basically anything that has a metal that is made of iron or steel, and I know it's hard to know what those kinds of things are. Just like a can, you would think of an aluminum can, but magnets don't stick to all all kinds of metal. So you're going to see sometimes they don't stick to certain things that you will think they stick to. But you can tell that they will not attract things like plastic or rubber or paper. All right, so let's go on and see if we can use some of this knowledge or information in our lesson. All right, okay, let's go. Here we are on page 139, okay? And if you remember from our last unit, two of the words that we learned, or should I say forces, were push and pull. And we're going to be using that a lot, those two words, push and pull, right here in this unit with magnets. Okay, so first let's take a look over here, and we have the word magnets. And in that picture above the word magnets are four different shape magnets. Remember from the video they said that magnets could come in all different shapes and sizes, all different ones. Now they said that a magnet is an object that will attract or pull objects made of steel or iron, right? And that it can also pull or push other magnets, right? So it can pull objects made of iron or steel, and it can push or pull other magnets, okay? Now look over here on the other side, and the word that we have there is attract. And to attract means to pull something, okay? So that means what happened is that this magnet right here attracted all of those paper clips. When all of those paper clips stuck to that magnet, they were attracted to it, okay? So that's what we use the word attract. The magnet pulled or attracted the paper clips to stick to it, right? So that's the force that is attract to it. All right, so let's move on and see what else we can find out about magnets. Here we are on page 140 now, and we are going to read more about magnets. It says magnets attract objects made of iron or steel. Attract means pull. Just like we said before, the word attract means to pull. So think about the magnet if you had in your hand, and it would attract or pull something towards it by a force. Now you can't see that force. It's an invisible force that's there. Okay, but that force of that motion where the magnet will pull whatever object it is, only if it's made of iron or steel. Remember that, okay? If it's not made of iron or steel, then that magnet will not pull or attract that object to it, okay? It won't do that. If it is made of plastic, it will just sit there. If it's made of iron or steel, then the object will move closer to the magnet. You don't even have to move the magnet. You can just sit there and move the magnet close enough, and it will automatically pull or attract the object right up to the magnet. So take a look at our two categories of pictures that we have on our page. Let me circle one with red right here. And I'm doing this, you don't have to, and I'm going to circle the other one with blue. All right, so we have two categories here. I circled one with red and one with blue. I want you to take a look at all of the items, okay? Look at all the items in the red box, or the, the one that I circled with the red. We have keys, we have some washers, some safety pins, a bobby pin, we have like a spinning wheel there, some paper clips. Over in the blue category, we have a plastic frog, some jacks, rubber balls, some rubber bands, some wooden sticks, some plastic beads. Which group of objects, okay, which category do you think will attract to a magnet? Which group do you think will attract or pull to a magnet? So if we put a magnet up to those objects in that picture, which group do you think would stick, attract, or pull to the magnet? Circle the group that you think would attract to a magnet. Okay, you can only circle one group. Do you think it's the red group or do you think it's the blue group? Circle the one group of pictures that you think would attract to a magnet. All right, when you're done, that's all for today. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy for science today as well. All right, make sure that you get your math and your reading and language arts done though. Okay, and I'll see you a little bit later. Bye guys.